Hello, everyone. This is Maria with mariascraftingcorner.com. Hi, Miss Mary. How are you doing? You getting ready for your birthday? I am guessing. I hope you are getting ready for lots of celebrations. Thank you for being here. It's very interesting. Some weird thing happened, and I'm not sure what, but my microphone wasn't working, and yeah, lots of things. Hi, Tracy. How are you? First of all, let me start with when I schedule it for June. So I'm trying to go and go live, right? And all of a sudden it's like, no, it's not time yet. You're way ahead of time. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I check, and of course it was for June. So there's that. Hey, Carrie. And then so I fix it, and it kept just telling me that there was an issue with the microphone, and it canceled the whole thing. So anyways, guys, I am so sorry for all this mess. Thank you for being here. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, a crazy day. I guess it's just, let's hope the life goes a little better. Because holy moly. Okay, so again, thank you all for being here. As you all, most of you who are here, I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if you're interested in anything, the new catalog and such, please send me an email to Maria at mariascraftingcorner.com. If you're interested in the catalog, I do request that you send me your address so I can send it away. Very so funny. Anyways, so um there I keep saying this, guys, I feel like a broken record, but there's a lot of things going on in our Stampin' Up! World. I'm really excited about that because it's pretty uh, again, it's really exciting having all these new products and all this stuff. I just can't keep up. Hi, Kim. So I'm just happy to let you know the new catalog came live. Is that how you say it? Well, the new catalog is available, or the products from the new catalog are now available, and there's so many cool things. There's some new things that I have not gotten yet. They have like new rub-ons, which they are in silver and gold, just like little details. I really like those. They have some washi tape. You can actually die cut. So yeah, lots of really cool, kind of like innovative things that I hope to get some of them later on. We have some new, um, really cool kits that came out with the catalog, and for whatever reason, oh my goodness, I don't think I have the pictures in here. Let me see. Oh, I do. Look at that miracle. Ha. But so this one is the beautiful blues kit. That one is really gorgeous. I saw today a card by Brie Kathleen, and if you are, on Facebook, you probably seen her. She does beautiful cards, and oh my goodness, she just had like the most gorgeous card using the kit, like an alternative. Good morning, Jill. How are you? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And then, there's the other one, which I forgot the name of it, but it has like a really catchy name, and it's really vibrant and happy, and you know both are beautiful. If you are interested, again, you just will find them in the new catalog. I mean, not catalog, in the website. And as I mentioned before, other days, we're just having 2 new kits every month, so lots of really cool things happening on that. And we are now about to receive the new paper pumpkin kit. I don't have a visual for the new one that's coming, so that will be for June's. But it's really cool. I'll have that one for next time. And okay, let's get ready. Let's move on. Let's go to the desktop. Hoping everything happens. There it goes. Whoa, that was weird. Here's my phone. I have not figured out how to like actually get it up and then just zoom in. I think I need to add the next type of software, or I need to add, just bring like a camera. I am not sure. But in the meantime, we'll just have to have the phone here because I just feel that it's too far away from our, from the desk, and I would like it to be a little closer, but if I do that, then it will be here, and I will not be able to see. So there's that. A couple of things that if you've been here before, you're probably noticing. So I used to have a glass mat that I have been using for a very long time now, from Tim Holtz actually, and I have moved it on to another side part of my craft room because I have been doing a lot of painting in wood and everything, and it's really, really easy to just clean the glass. And I got these mat from scrapbook.com just because it was something cheap. I was going to get the one from Stampin'Up, but the reason why I chose this one, it's because it does not reflect light, and so if I need something, I can use this mat and not have necessarily my paper grade. So that's the reason why I got this one. I would like to know, guys, let me know if it just looks really confusing because it's like I have a grid here and a grid here, and I am sorry about that. I did not think of that when I got it. I just don't want to mess it up completely since it's white. But that's the reason why I got it. It's because I won't have a reflection, and that was one of the things that was awful with the glass mat. The reflection was like crazy. So anyways, let me know if it's too confusing and I can try to figure out something else. Okay, so we are doing a super a super fun card that I saw on Pinterest, and let me see if I can get things set up in a way that I get it there for you. Okay, there it is, so you guys can see where I got this from. Sorry, I'm gonna move a tiny bit again. So I got these guys, here it is, it's in Pinterest, and it's actually an SGB. So it is something that you can buy and get to use in your Cricut or the Silhouette or something like that. I figure out, guys, that you can see me there, you can see me there, that's crazy. But I figure out that we can try to work out together to see if we manage to get the measurements and all. Luckily enough, it's not a very complicated card. I like the fact, and I'm going to move again to the desk view. I like the fact that it has like it's sitting right. So a long time ago, let me go back, and I'm sorry, I'm talking too much. I'm going to speed up here in a minute. But a long time ago, I had a step card when I started doing step cards, and I was like totally amazed by step cards. I saw a card that it looked like it was standing. When I mean standing, not standing is not the right word. Like there was, I guess, a vertical, and then there was kind of like a flat horizontal area, and I got in love with the card. But when I made it, it just didn't look like that. I think it was just how the person took the picture, and since then, honestly, I've been looking for something similar, and then this popped up, and I figure we are going to try it. So let's get started. I have a lot cut, a lot not cut. I'll tell you as we go. Hey, Alice, how are you? How's your little grandkid? Alice has a beautiful granddaughter, and so I'm just, oh my goodness, she's so cute. Anyways, so really, I have a lot of the things cut out. We're going to cut together the paper because I didn't have time to do that. And we'll go together and we'll talk about the reasons why I have been also busy. Just as always, and before I move forward, all these, I have a PDF tutorial. I have some templates. It would not be live today. It will be live tomorrow. Because I still have to finish a couple of things in the blog post, so it won't be live today, but you will have access. You will have access to that. So, oh my goodness, that is an increasing weight. So, whoop, whoop. I am so glad to hear that, Alice. So, Just letting you know, you will have everything just as I have been doing, not exact directions but or instructions, but templates, which I find so much easier and so much easier to make. Okay, so I'm just going to start with some Old Olive. Another pause. I'm sorry, guys. The whole change of one life to the other, it was crazy. Happy birthday, Alice. Oh my goodness, I do wish you have a wonderful celebration. Happy birthday. We are going to be using today a combination of things. So I finally gave in and got the Delightful Wishes dies, which are the dies from our, let me see, let me bring it up here, from the Floral Delight Designer Series paper. So it's a whole suite. I just got the paper initially, and I finally gave in and got only the dies. And I'm starting to think that I should have gotten also the stamps, but that's another conversation for another day. And this is the paper, is the one that has balmy blue and a combination of yellows, including Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, and Peach Pie, and Old Olive. So this is what we're going to be using today. Along with that, I brought the Sentimental Park because, like I said, I don't have any stamps for this. So I brought the Sentimental Park, which is one of my favorite stamp sets from from for a very long time now, because it has the you have the possibility of mix and matching, and I just really like that. I think it's one of those things where you can build a lot of cards without having tons of stamps actually. So you have let's celebrate you, let's celebrate your graduation, your anniversary, you are amazing, thinking of you, etc. Love you. I mean, it's just wonderful, wonderful stamp set. So we're going to be using that. We're also, along with that, we're going to be using these die, because it's just going to work really well. So, that's the good news. And we may be using for the inside of the back of the card, we're going to be using maybe here for you always, or sending love and best wishes. I don't know what we're going to use, but we're going to decorate the outside of the card. The last thing that we're going to be using, guys, is these embossing folder. I think it's not retired. I think it's one of some of the ones that's on sale, and it's called Dashing Decides 3D embossing folder. I mean, like I mentioned to you guys a while back, I'm mixing and matching some of the things we have. So let's go back to the card. So I'm starting with a piece. This is just a regular Old Olive in 11 by 8.5, and we are going to cut, and I have my cheat sheet here, guys, so and we are going to cut at 5.5. So I'm just going to align these at 5.5, and yes, I have to use the whole piece because the other measurement, the piece needs to measure 5.5 by 10 3/4. So we are going to go all the way here to 10 3/4, and we're just going to cut. So that is our first piece. Let's go ahead and cut it. So again, hey Renee, how are you? 5.5 by 10 3/4. Okay, and now we are going to score this friend, and we are going to score at 3/4. So I'm going to start here, aligning at 3/4, making sure it's all well, my thingy fell off. Okay, 3/4, and then we're going to go to 2. Actually, this card has a lot of pizzazz to it, but you're going to see it's not very complicated. So let's see, 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 3/4. So we're going in 2 inches increments, 4 3/4, and then 6 3/4. So let's go 6 3/4, and we are going to score. Okay, I know it's harder to see, and maybe it's better if I move a little bit. There we go. I know it's harder to see, but here we go. 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 3/4, and 6 3/4. Okay, we're going to put vertical, and we are going to go to our 1 inch. And I'm actually going to use the right side. It's probably a bit easy. And I'm going to move this so you can see, and I'm get that there so it's not on the way. Okay, I think that's better. Okay, so I am aligning using the right side of my trimmer at 1 inch. And we are going to cut between the 2 and 3/4. So that will be our second score line. Let me put it like this so you guys can see. So between our second score line and our third score line. I'm going to do this so it's easier for you to see. I know it's hard to see, guys. I'm so sorry. So we have the first one, we have the second. So we're just going to cut between those two score lines. So remember, between the second and the third score line at 1 inch. So I'm moving my blade right there. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to cut very softly so I don't go over, right? I told you guys it always happens. So it is what it is. And now I'm just going to turn around, and now we're going to have the these, when you turn it around, it's just going to be on the bottom. And this is why I don't turn it around like this. Actually, I can show you, because when you do that, can you see? Of course you can see it. When you cut, you know, the blade, the paper has this like elevation. I don't know, it just looks like it's cut, and I don't totally love it. And so I decided that if I just put it this way, then I will keep the cut on the same side, the cuts in the same side of the paper, and that will not be noticeable. So we're going to go to the 1 inch again, and still between these two ones, which is now easier because it's parallel to the one that we just made, and we are just going to cut between those two score lines. Hey Adrian, how are you? And now we are going to turn these, let me show you back in here. We are going to cut between these two cuts on the 2 3/4 score line. So just in here. So I'm just going to align these. I don't know if when you're using the trimmer, you can actually feel when it's like, when it gets into the cutting, how you call it, to this edge. So just align there. You can, let me make it easier for you guys. Sorry. We are going to line back again at 2 3/4, and we're just going to cut between those two cut lines. I don't know why I got all so confused. I'm sorry about that. So again, we're just going to cut between the two cut lines that we just made. Okay. And hold and behold, that's all we need to make. Okay. So it's a really easy card to do. This one is not cut all the way, and I'm just gonna give it a quick cut. Okay, I think we made it. That's all, guys. Super easy. I do. I am sorry, Adrian. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. This is super easy. I'm going to bring my bone folder, and let's go ahead and start folding these. So we are going to need to fold the lower one. So we're going to go valley. Let's go and bring our bone folder. And then this one goes mountain. So again, bone folder like that. And the other one goes light, goes valley. Okay, I'm just making this more complicated than it's needed, but that's fine. And I actually shouldn't do that. Shouldn't fold that one, but that's going to be fine. And then this one should go straight. I'm sorry, guys. And then we're going to fold this one finally. Mountain. So valley, mountain, valley, mountain. Just pretty easy. if you want, you don't, I mean, folding it all together is not a big deal because we're going to put a piece in here. So it's going to work anyways. But I do want to say that it will work a little better if you don't fold it. So I'm sorry about that. I was not paying attention. And then you're going to have, guys, I want to say it's a 4 by 5.5 card. If you make this a little longer, so instead, if you make it instead of the 10 3/4, you make it 11, then it's going to be 4 1/4. Now, and you can just keep it like this and give it like this, and it will be absolutely fine. That said, the version I am making is the exact version that I show you. And so we are going to have an area in here that's going to be popping up. And what that means, guys, is, so there you go. That's how the card looks. So you have this flat area, and I just think the possibilities. I was going to use the storybook moments because I think this is a perfect to create kind of like a scene. I didn't, guys, so you're all welcome. And I am, like I said, I'm going to use the exact same version that I saw on Pinterest, and that has another piece that we're going to work here in a minute, that goes in here. Okay, so there's that. Let me move here. I already have the piece cut out and taken care of, but we need another piece that measures 3/4 of an inch. So I'm just gonna use leftover here by 2.5. Okay, and then we're going to score these at 1/2 inch. Okay, so there's the 1/2 inch, and that's probably just easier done on the other side of the trimmer, but that's fine. And that too. So all we're doing is creating 2 flaps of 1/2 inch. Okay, and we're going to use these later. And guys, that's it. That's all the card there is. Now we're just going to sit down and relax and decorate, which is a lot of fun. So I'm going to extend it. I have these here, so I'm going to put it out there so it's not in the way. So I'm going to extend it, and I'm just going to bring all the little pieces I already have. And like I said, this is going to be included in, all these measurements are going to be included in the blog tomorrow. But just in case, right, the lower layer is 5 inch by 5 3/8, and the DSP layer is 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. So this one is going here. And this is a great card, just like any card that has steps or such, that you can utilize to to utilize your paper, your DSP, because you can use all sorts of little pieces in here just to, decorate. And so that's going to be, it's super useful in that sense. Okay, and now we're going to bring another one. This is a big piece. The underlayer measures 1/7/8 by 5 3/8, and the DSP it's 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So that's going to be our measurement is going to be 5.5, 5 3/8. Let me see, 5 7/8 and 5 3/4. And so we're just going to bring these, and before we add this, guys, I am going to bring this. This is an old ribbon. It's called metallic woven ribbon. Actually, this was, oh my goodness, was it Parakeet Party? I think it's supposed to be Parakeet Party, guys. But in the end, I never saw the Parakeet Party. I'm just going to say that out loud. And so, just as things go in life, I love it because although it's not the exact same color, you can barely tell, right? I think that what happens with greens especially is that you have 2 types of greens. Maybe I'm being extremely simple, right? But you have 2 types of greens. The ones that have yellow on it, or an emphasis on yellow, and then the ones that have a lot of blue in it. And so, or blue emphasis. And so the old olive, like on our old purposes, the mossy meadow, and the Parkit Party, even Granny Apple Green. Those are colors that have some emphasis in yellow, and so you can like mix and match without fear. So I'm going to center these, and I'm just going to add these to my card. I actually cut a huge amount of these. Oh, you do? Renee is saying she has this ribbon. So well, if you've been here, you know, I am pretty addicted to anything that's shiny, right? And so I love this ribbon. I got it in almost all colors. For some reason, I have not used the green as much, but you know, that's totally fine. I just like it very much. And so I actually, from all the ones that they came, because they came in all the ink colors of that year, this is the one that I bought extra because this is a color I love. Mossy Meadow. If you've been here, you know I love Mossy Meadow. And so I figured this is going to work for me really, really well. And all I'm going to do, guys, and I know it's a bigger piece, but it doesn't matter because we're going to add these, right? I am just going to make sure this is straight, and we are going to add our, maybe, there it goes. We're going to add our little piece. I'm making sure it's straight as possible anyways. There we go. And we're going to decorate these in a little bit. But for now, we're going to glue this. And yes, if you are seeing, I kind of gave up on the whole mechanism. I like it very much. It almost works great, but it doesn't work for me. And what that tells me, quite honestly, is that it is what we would call user error, right? It's me who is not working for. I see a lot of people it works for. It just doesn't work for me. And so I kind of gave up. And I'm using my big pin in here, and that's it. When it gets a little lower on glue, I do use the, I'm going to call it, you know, this artifact thingy. So it helps me push the glue. But other than that, I gave up on it. So there's that, guys. And now we are going to need 4 pieces that measure, let's see, 7/8. So the under layer is 7/8 by, these moved. How inappropriate. You guys see that? I don't like that. We're going to cut another piece. So the under layer is a 7/8 by 1/7/8, and the DSP is 3/4 by 1 3/4. Let me go and grab the paper. Is this what the paper is at? Yes. And where's my white? Huh, I thought I had white here. Let me see, guys. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I got it here. So I don't know if you've noticed, guys, but I've been using the white willow a lot. And so, yeah, quite a lot, actually. So, and that's what I'm using today. So this has to be, we said 1/7/8. And so I'm just aligning it at 1/7/8. I know this is more than 3, than 7/8. And there it goes. So we're going to cut that, and we're going to bring a little piece of that DSP. And let's see. Sorry, guys. I always mix and match because these pockets I have are pretty big, and they hold a lot. And so I figured that it just helps me to kind of put several things together. Here it is. I have cut a whole piece. So now that's gonna save me, because I know that this is already 3/4, just to make sure, but it is 3/4, and we need 1 3/4. Okay. Okay, let me move these. So if you are wondering where I got these paper, I got it from the Meant to Be is the name. Meant to Be DSP that belongs to the one of the scrapbooking workshops, because I recently got it, and I was looking for something that would work here, because I didn't want to use so let me go back. I didn't want to use the balmy blue because I've used it quite a bit on it, like a lot. And so I'm like, no, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it. I want to just stay with the green and the yellow. And so I was looking for something that had more green, because most of the paper in the DSP has an emphasis on the yellow, so I wanted something that was greener. I actually was going to use, and I'm going to show you because I left it all here. Some of the paper. This is like, oh my goodness, such an old. You know how they have like those DSP that they're just like the colors DSP, and they come in the in the different. Oh my goodness. Well, their packets include, oh, they come in the regals and the neutrals and so forth. And when I started the Stampin' Up, I'm like, these are so useful. I'm going to get tons of them. I'm going to get them because it's going to really, really work for me. And hold and behold, I've barely used them. So I was going to use it, and I think it would have looked really good. And then I remembered that we had that, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to use that. So you actually have some availability. But if you don't have this one, then you can use some of those colors that we've had in the past. So I am going to bring this up in here, and we are going to glue this. Tracy is saying that's maybe a defective glue gun. Tracy, I have to say, I don't think so. I think it's totally user error. So a couple of things. I have been using the Tombow, and I think the Tombow does dry quickly, and that's part of it. I also think so. I tried another glue just to try it, and it did glue pretty quickly. I think that what Carrie said last time may be totally true. And Carrie, on our last live, she said that it may be the altitude. So I live in a very, very, very dry place, and it may be that it just dries faster. That could totally be. I think that having these long nail really works for it. But then when you have the gun and the nail, I don't know, it just gets convoluted. So I decided, you guys are going to laugh at me. I decided that I may go back to the actual bottle that I was using before. I don't know if you guys remember. It's actually from Stampin' Up, and it's the fine glue pen. Because that cap, I don't know if you remember, but that cap actually has the whole, like a really long pin, and I think that may work better for me and my circumstances. I don't know, guys. Anyways, that's my thought process. I really think it's more that. Hey, Rochelle! Oh my goodness, I am so glad you're here. It was a whole shenanigan. Rochelle is saying that she was here, but like the video did not start, and kind of what's up, and it was a whole shenanigan. Rochelle, I cannot tell you how convoluted it got in there. So this is the part that's going to go in the back in here, and we're going to add that right now, just because I want to make sure that we decorate it. And I'm not going to go crazy in here. I have this little piece already, and I'm going to cut these. So I'm going to cut this at the 4 and see, it'll be 4 3/8, and this we said is 3/4. So this is just a decoration, so I'm just gonna do that. Al is asking if something is still available. What are you thinking? Okay, I can't even talk English. Alice, what are you thinking that is available? Okay, so I'm gonna take a minute here to read the comments in a minute. Let's glue this, and I mean, straight is always better, in crafting. And because I still have these left over, I'm just going to put another piece in here. And oh, so yes, I think it is. It's called fine glue tip. That is Cricut, right? Am I seeing it Cricut? I don't know. I think it is, guys. Yes, the fine glue tip is how it's called. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna leave it because I'm just gonna create this mayhem, and it's not worth it. It is still available, and I am, you know, I'm just gonna go for it because, sorry guys, one of the reasons why this is a little harder to push is because it's not round. If it's round, you have a little bit more of like area to push the glue out, and that one doesn't. I am really sad that this is not straight, and I think you've been here long enough, guys, to know that I have to not do that. So I'm going to cut a piece real quick. It takes nothing to cut, and you know, so we said this one is 3/7/8, yeah, by 5/3/8. And there you go. And I think that I cut it right. Oh, I did. It was like. And we're going to bring another piece of paper. It doesn't have to be that one. I was just using whatever pop-up that was already cut. But since I have not used this one, I'm just going to use that one. And that's going to be then 3/4 of an inch, not of an eighth. I don't even know that's that exists. And this one is going to be the same 5 3/8. Okay. Sorry about that, guys, but you do know that when I talk too much, I get distracted and I don't do things correctly. So I'm going to go on and do this. And I'm just going to decorate this in a cutesy way, making sure straight, because I don't want to do this again. Okay, I think there it is. And let's move that out of the way. And we are going to bring another little piece of tear and tape, which I have found out is the easiest way to have to glue any, sorry guys, I almost made a mistake, to glue any ribbon. Okay, so what I am doing is I'm looking at, and I know this is probably not the easiest way to do it, but I'm just looking at the, can you see it, at the shadow from where the paper is at. So there's that. Let's see if that works. Since the ribbon is so thin, I think it will work. And I don't even know why I'm trying to do this with my lack of nails. That's pretty funny, Maria. So I almost didn't go live today. I was having a moment of, oh my God, my hands are a absolute disaster. What happens is it's gardening season, guys. And once gardening season starts, my hands just go, it's just terrible. I can't help it. I am super messy. I use my hands for everything, and I do use gloves, but I don't know why. It just gets messy, and my poor nails go really, it's just really disastrous. So I have to say that they are really sad looking, but I'm hoping I'm gonna have some veggies this year. So there's that, guys. Yeah, I will send you some tomatoes, okay? Anyways, that's why my hands are so messy, and that's one of the reasons why it's being hard for me to kind of plan the lives and all the stuff that I like to do. And it's because the garden takes a lot of time for me. Okay, so this is where you're going to be able to write something, and it's going to be in the back. We're going to bring the panel for here, and it is right here. And so I do have, so it's white and white on white, and that will help me actually for my mistake. Just remember, don't fold that, because this is going to go straight up like that. And again, just making it very or similar or as similar as possible as the card that we saw that they were selling as like they were selling the digital copy so you can cut it. The cutting file is how it's called. Sorry, guys. I'm putting quite a bit of glue in here because I really want that piece to stick out and to be well glued. You can totally use tear and tape. It's probably, kind of easy. And this is calculated, so it's an eighth of an inch smaller, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is an eighth of an inch smaller. So here's what I'm going to say. This is not a card that's going to fit in an envelope as it is in here. If you don't put this panel, it will fit in an envelope, and you will just not have so you will just have that all the way till here, and it will be still amazing, but you will just not have that. Okay, so I'm just saying that out loud. This is not going to fit in an envelope because although it fits well, see, it folds well, it will not yeah, this will just not be. The way I see this card without this white panel is more like a little gift, kind of like a 3D gift. If you take the panel off, it will fit in a regular card. Okay, so ta-da, that's how it looks, and I absolutely love it. We still have a couple things to do in here. We're going to, I don't know what, so I'm going to start with this. I don't know how the card really looks because I was, even I went to the Etsy store where they sell the cutting file, and there was no way to see what was happening in the back and how, how it was created. So this is what I came up with, and it may be bigger or smaller. The truth is, I didn't have any measurements in here, so I kind of created it out. It's pretty simple because, I mean, if you want to make it a little bigger, this is 3/4 of an inch, and based on this you can make this bigger, so you can make this 3, 3, 6, 9, and if you have bigger cardstock, I made it trying to calculate that it will fit in an envelope if you don't put the panel, so that's why it's 5.5, right? Could be 6 and bigger. So I'm just saying that out. So I mean, if you've had something similar, just let us know how it works because I don't really know. I'm going to decorate everything though before I add the panel, not the panel, the little attachment here that we are going to add up here. And it's not a complicated setting, but that will hold this standing much better than on its own. I mean, like if you put this, like fold it well and everything, it will stay. But if you add that piece, then it will definitely stay and it will just look amazing. And so that's kind of how it looks. And it's so, so beautiful, guys. Okay, so let's go back in here. So remember that piece I showed you earlier. So from that, I cut 2 pieces, one in old olive, one in white. And we are just going to cut these in half, and we're going to extend our piece in order to make it kind of like framing, but not completely. And this piece, guys, measures 3 inches, so I am just aligning these at 1.5. I'm going to cut that in half, and now we're just going to put it behind our thing like this, and then we just got another pop of color. If you notice, most of the stuff I'm adding is in green, and it is because, like I said, there's a lot of yellow going on in here, and I just think that we need the green. And we're going back to my friend in here, and what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to add the glue in here and bringing the other piece that I cut and adding it, and then there we go. So it creates kind of like a fake, it's like a fake frame. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add the glue in here, and we are going to eyeball this in, right? So kind of making sure it's more or less the same measurement. There it goes. Something like that. Okay, and that looks really, really beautiful. This is obviously, you can read, says thinking of you, and it's Stampin' Peach Pie. And I'm going to put this in here just like that. And if I find my, here are my friends. So I'm going to pop this up and, oh, look at that. That was very good. It's almost like I calculated it. We're going to use dimensionals to create some fun in the sentiment. Oh, that was a little bit bigger. How disappointing. Okay. And you guys know me very well. I'm just going to do some extra right in here. That should have been smaller. But I just feel that way is totally safe. Like I have kind of an addiction to our dimensionals, guys. Okay, let's see. I'm just making sure I'm in your camera view. Okay. Let's put that right there. So this is going to be popped up, and I think this is just going to look super cute like that. And we'll be able to do some extra decorations. We're going to decide together. So go thinking, start thinking what you think would be better. I think that we still need to kind of like bring more green elements, but we're going to finish. And once we do, we'll decide which gems we want in it. So I'm just pushing this down. That's one of the advantages of these cards. You can push it down, and I'm going to center this as best as I can using that ribbon as a guide. And there we go. So we have the thinking of you. I used my Misty to do this because you guys know I'm really not good at that. So I'm just saying. And now we're going to bring the flowers. So remember, I'm using the, oh goodness, Delightful Wishes dies. And let me bring all my little pieces in here. I'm putting my pen somewhere safe. And so the dies bring these, that is kind of like a, not kind of, it's a branch. And then they are dies that you build upon. So I used Lemon Lolly cardstock for the first layer, and then I used Daffodil Delight for the top layer. And what I did is with a blending brush, I kind of darkened one set, so I cut two sets. I kind of darkened one set, so I had like kind of two different colors, so it's not totally noticeable, especially from this spot. But yeah, so this one has a little bit more, it even has a little bit of peach pie here. So I was just really darkening some of these so we can have like some blend, I don't know what the right word, well, I guess some interest in the pictures, in the flowers. And so I'm going to mix and match. So I'm going to put the darker, one dark and one light. And I'm trying to figure out how to do this, guys. I have not thought this through really. So I'm just thinking something like that, and then maybe bring the other one there and add this one that's darker there, something along those lines. And then I did cut a ton of these, of the leaves, so we can add to this. So let's get started, and hopefully we'll get this into the right place, because I am using the 3D embossing folder. I know I've mentioned this a long time, guys, and it is, or many times, and it is that the embossing folders, I think that because they're so cool, they're this 3D and they're very amazing, but you do have some challenge gluing things. So I'm just saying out loud. I'm moving this a little lower just so I can glue everything. And I am going to start with the big flowers. So these are the ones that are going to define kind of where things are going to go. I think I'm going to put that one there. There we go. And again, I'm going to be using, let me think, guys. So maybe I'll just put this one there, and yeah, I guess I'll put this one here. So that's how it's gonna go, I think. So everything has every end of the branch has a flower. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just doing there, you know what? Let me see. I cut a ton of flowers, I mean leaves, guys, as well, because I do like I said, I do want some of that green in the picture. Not the picture. And let me add this one just right there. We can put the leaves wherever we want. There's not a, you know, place. No, I think I like it there. You can also put these on the flowers and dimensionals. That can be, I may do that with the two smaller ones. And I'm going to put that one way underneath. Okay. So let's go ahead and add this other friend. Before, so I was trying, this is very funny, I was trying, like, I didn't realize what I wanted, in the sense of I wanted them a little bit kind of like 3D, but I didn't I started wanting that later then, and I had already like glued everything, and so that was not really going to work. But that is something that you can do, right? Just like kind of make it a little bit more 3D, and so it'll just look so much better. I think I'll give it like an extra, I don't know what the word would be, like an extra pizzazz maybe. Okay, so I'm putting the smaller ones on dimensionals, so it, you know, we have that feel of more of a 3D setting. Now, if you are seeing a really odd color, you're totally right, and it is. I am bringing some pear pizzazz. So I'm going to tell you a couple of secrets. When I started being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I bought a lot of cardstock, including the stuff that they, you know, retired. And so I have a lot of it. And I was thinking, let me show it to you here. Like, this is Pear Pizzazz. So this is the paper, right? And it has the old olive, and then this little lighter one looks like Pear Pizzazz to me. Anyways, but I figure out, like, I have, when I say I have a lot, I do have a lot. And so I wanted to bring something up in here. So I want to bring out to your attention this, and it is that you can put a lot of things expanding anywhere, because this is going to be full like this, right? And so in the end, anything can go any, you know, off this route. If you're going to think of making the card the 8-2 card, then it can't go up, but it can't go all the way to the, you can extend that to the sides, and up to the edge of the card, obviously. But yeah, so just think about it. So I have some other ones in here, some more purposes, because I just wanted to kind of like kind of give some fun there with the extra colors. And then I'm bringing more old olive to create some fun in there. And there's a smaller ones, so the dies bring smaller dies and bigger dies, and so I'm just going to bring this one that's smaller, maybe there. Nope. Well, that was not nice. Let's see where I want this one. Okay, that will do. And that's how the card is going to look. So it looks really beautiful like that. Let's add our little piece in here. And so we're just going to fold those. So I'm going to put this in. Sorry guys, because I kind of barely remember how I did this. So I'm going to start these in here. So it took me a little bit to calculate where I wanted the extension. I think it can be even a little smaller than 2.5 inches. So this opens, so this stays closer, like, so the opening is not as big. But we're going to stick to that because that's what we have right now. And I just don't want to make tons and tons of changes. Now for these, I am going to use there and tape. Just make this a little easier. Okay, whoops. I'm moving as fast as I can. I'm almost done, guys. So I am just glad that it was such an easy card because all the delays were not cool. So I am just really putting these up here. No calculation, right? It's very simple, but kind of like from these panels. So this is a 4-inch panel. It looks like it's a little bit above the half part. And then I am just going to glue this. And see in here, and it just did glue. Now, two things. If you're going to, so that will hold it together. Let me hold it there. Like that. See what I'm saying? I think it should be smaller, right? Let's go ahead and make that smaller, guys. And because it's me, I'm going to cut this. So I would say, I don't want to unglue. Oh, there it goes. We'll use that back. So let's cut these at, let's make these 2 inches. And that got stuck. Huh. And we're going to score then, you know, a 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. We have one already scored. I just think it needs to be, the triangle needs to be, what's the right word, guys? Help me out here. Is the isosceles? I don't know. I'm thinking, but I can't recall really. So bottom line, I just think it needs to be less distance when it opens. I don't know how to say it, guys. So I hope you forgive me. And so what this is going to do is I'm going to remove this really slowly. Okay, that worked. And let's bring the other piece, if I find it. This lack of nails is not great for crafting, guys. But I did, like, oh my goodness. When I realized I broke some nails, more acute. Thank you, Carrie. Yes, that's what I mean. I just think that the more acute the triangle, then it will be standing better. So I'm going to put that one there and that one there, and nope, my mistake. Okay, sorry guys. I'm just going to move this in here, and then that will do. Yeah. Okay, a little bit better. And actually you can make it smaller. See, maybe if we put it, so if I put it lower, guys, remember the triangles and I just don't get along, guys. It's just a thing. Okay, that seems better. So it looks better, I think. Sorry, I'll have to keep playing with this until I actually reach the place I like. So I think I'm gonna go almost all the way there, and then there. Now I'm talking. Yes. So bottom line, put it closer to where that score line is, right where we cut in here, and that will have to, there we go. Now it stands really cool. There you go. So that's how this looks, right? So it's a standing, it looks really cute. Now imagine the options, right? Like you can make like a scenery in the back and put a fence in here, little fence and animal. I mean, oh my god, I was playing with it in my brain and I'm like, I absolutely love this card. I wish I had more time to make some more. Here's the other one I made. So kind of using my favorite paper, you guys know this. So this is how it will look, and then it stands like that. Yeah, see, it's got to be lower. See, that one is lower. So, and I am just using that workshop, and it just stands perfectly, and I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love this card because I love the colors, and I just can't help it. It just like calls my name every single time I'm thinking of making a card. I'm like, oh, I can use this. And again, going back to how useful it is to have the die cuts or the stamps, not stamps, or the stickers. So this is how it looks. This one was like all discombobulated. So there we go. And I do have, so see what I'm saying? Like it has a lot of green in it. So I do have a variety of greens. I have those old ones that we had used that, what was it, like 2 years ago, guys? I have these that I'm trying to get rid of, obviously. But I like it because they kind of match the ribbon, and so that's why I like this. And we can put some, maybe. I mean, you can just put a few. Actually, you can put as many as you want. So let me go back with you on that one. So Alice is asking what size of envelope it will fit. So these would fit 6, so like 6 by 5.5. So 6 by 6 it will fit, no problem. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure 6. I wish I had my envelopes in here. I have them upstairs, but it will fit now. And I'm going to show you like the retainers, what I'm going to call it. It's actually it folded, so it actually folds, but it still keeps retaining. There's no problem with that. So you can totally send this in an envelope. So it would be this piece measures 6 inches, so it would be 6 by 5.5. And I will put it like this with everything in here, and then, you know, because this takes some assembling, I guess. Now I'm gonna bring, let me move this out of here. Isn't that cute with my green pieces? Let me put these on here and bring, this is my card after a few, right? This is my cheat sheet. So if you have these here, so Alice, look at this. If you don't add the long piece that I just added, that I add in white, right? Like this piece, if you don't add this, this will fit in an A2 card. And it still has the same, right? You just can't expand up. And I wanted to expand up, but you just can have it like that. And you can still have a lot of fun with it. And it will fit on a regular A2 card. Okay? But I really wanted that extension and that it looks fine, and there you go. Now I wanted it that way because it's what I saw, right? Remember, and I can still bring, let me see, I'm going to change the screen 1 minute. This is the original I saw. So, and I don't have any measurements. I don't know how it looks in the back. I don't know anything, but that's, you know, this is the original. And so I had that idea of having this panel up. If you ask me, this looks to me like it's at least 6 inches, and it could be, you know, I just made it 5.5. So this portion, let me move back. So the portion, what I would call the card base, the main card base, will fit in a regular envelope. There you go. And like I said, I will send it, if I were going to send it like that, I will send it this in the front, and that way, and you can even decorate some extras in here. And that way, who opens it just assembles and puts it back up. And I'm actually tempted, guys, to add a little bit more gems in here. There's one last thing I want to show you, which is not Stampin' Up related, but I know you will like it. Yeah, so I'm right there with you. So Alice is saying she really likes the extension. I like the extension. Like I think it just makes this instead of a card, a little gift, right? A little 3D gift that you can give away. So yeah, I like it like that. But you know, in the end, you also like, if you want to get creative and send something in the mail, that could be the, you know, the way to extend that. Okay, well, I put that together. It's going to be like 5 minutes, and we don't have 5 minutes. So I want to show you the banner I made for my daughter's graduation. Oh my gosh, I really like this one, guys. I can't help it. I just like it so much. It's so beautiful, so beautiful, so beautiful. Anyways, let me move this out of the way. So I am a Cricut owner. I have not used a Cricut in a very long time, but I think since I started actually being a demo, I just think like I just got really busy. But let me show you how cute this is. And maybe I have the portions. So it has, isn't this gorgeous, guys? So this is one of the ends of the banner, and here's the other end of the banner. And all the words are like this. So it says congrats, and my daughter's name is Fernanda, so it's Fern. So isn't this super cute? Oh my god, I was so proud of it, especially because I have not used it in a very long time, and I just fell in love with it. So I just wanted to show you, because that's one of the things I wanted to say is, like, things are fast approaching. Her graduation is June 13. So I am thinking that whole week of, that'll be what, the 9, 10. Yeah, I would say, I think it's June 10th. I may not have a live because it kind of will depend on how the craziness of the party and such goes. But yeah, I'm super, super excited with this. So just saying, guys, if you have a Cricut, don't forget you have it. Oh, thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Carrie. I think it's really cool. Like, it's going to look really cute. She's just like, well, obviously, right? Lots of bling. She loves bling. So all the paper is bling. Not bling, is you know, kind of glittery paper. I know. Yeah, you can see it. The gold is clearly DU. So she goes to Denver University, and their colors are gold and red. And so I use the black just as a contrast. But I was really excited with it, guys. It's so much fun. So much fun. So if you have one, don't forget you have it. And you know what? Remind me I have that. I was this close to buy the banners. So in the catalog, in the new catalog there is, and I'm gonna move here to me. Let me see. Oh goodness. There we go. There we go. And I'm sorry about the phone, but Stampin' Up! In the new catalog has layering banners, and it's a lot of them, guys. It's tons and tons of them, and they match with a big alphabet, like a chunky alphabet name. And I can't remember what the name of them is. Let me see if I can, but they are really cool. I was like this close to buy them. They're a little bit more expensive. The banners are probably, I want to say, like, I think the whole bundle ended up being $99, I want to say. Yeah, and the alphabet was like 60 something dollars. But the bundle is $99. So it's really cool. It's really cool, especially if you don't have a Cricut, guys, because like they're chunky, nice letters. So I was going to buy them, and then I'm like, what am I thinking? Hello, Maria. And so yeah, I got the Cricut out, and I'm like, and actually I just put it there, and I'm using it now a lot. And it was a lady that came from close to my heart to Stampin' Up! That has some really, really beautiful scrapbooking layouts. And she kept talking about, oh yeah, like these part I got on the Cricut, and these other part I got on the Cricut. And I'm like, how brilliant is that? And I am thinking of buying more dies that I probably don't need because I had the Cricut. Anyways, So if you don't have the cricket, the dice will work wonderfully. There's a ton of them, and they're like the biggest one. I think it's bigger than this one. This Indian 7, I think this is 7 by 5 inches, and I think the biggest is a little bit bigger. So I mean, it's totally worth it. I just have the cricket, so it doesn't make sense. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna bring my card here because it's so beautiful. Isn't it super cute? I just like it so much. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. Um, so the lady again that I got it from, call it the chair step card. Um, I don't know how it's called. I didn't research. I don't know if somebody else made it. I just know that lady that posted, and like I said, she was just selling the cutting file for the Cricut. So if you know, you will have all these measurements and a couple of templates in the tutorial tomorrow, and then you can just make your own without worrying about having to buy one. You can also make these bigger, like I was saying, like it's all these are 4, so 2 2 2, and then this one, so the extension of this one needs to be the extension of these two. So if this is 4, this one needs to be 4. If this is, I don't know, 6 is, yeah, 6, then this needs to measure 6. So all you do is add, right? And that's how I did. It's like 3/4 of an inch, 2 3/4, 4 3/4, 6 3/4, and then 10 3/4, right? So that's how it works. So if you want to make it bigger, then you can totally do that, because in the end you can glue this like we've done with our 6 by 6 cards sometimes. So cut a 4.5 piece, for example, in this case, and add it to here, and nobody will see that. So if you want a bigger option, like a bigger gift, that you can totally do that, and it will actually look super cute. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. It's 7:17. Thank you so much for being here. I am just so pleased that you guys like it. And you will be able to, like I said, download everything or the PDF tutorial tomorrow. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Okay, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. In the comments, if you're watching the replay, let me know which one you like better. And if you've seen this card before and if it has a different name, I will appreciate if you let me know in the comments as well. Oh, Renee's saying that the banner and the alphabet bundle together is $125. Yeah, I remember it was like $125, but I didn't. Anyways, it's expensive, but if you like, I don't know, right? And sorry, I was closing, but just gonna say, if you don't have a Cricut and you have like grandkids or your own kids, and or you're a teacher, banners and those big letters are super useful, right? Because you can create so many things with them for parties, again for the classroom. If you're a nurse and you want to decorate, I don't know, I'm just saying out loud, it's a great option. If you have a Cricut, I think it does not make sense, because then you save yourself some time doing it on the Cricut, of course, because it's just so much faster. Okay, guys, sorry I got distracted there. um, so if you like today's video, please hit that like button, give us a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already, and share the video either on Facebook or on your social media, and that helps me grow the channel. I am hoping to get there to 5,000 sooner rather than later, and I know it kind of slowed down because I stopped making cards through the holiday season, and I guess that the algorithm like punished me. But I am hoping that we get to 5,000, and when we do, I have a special gift for you all. So we'll do a raffle, and you know hoping to benefit a few of you with a couple of gifts. So thank you again. I hope you guys have a great evening. Comment down below which one you like best, and send me an email if you have any doubts. I'll see you. Thank you, Alice. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. May God bless you all, and bye-bye.